So we're back with another video in the garage. Now this isn't going to be a Jeep video, surprisingly enough. That thing's still pretty undrivable, unfortunately. But if you look up here on the shelf behind me, check that out. That's an old school Coleman lantern. And today we're going to try to get that thing up and running. From what I heard, it hasn't run in about 30 years. This thing is still in its original box. Now the box is a little bit worse for wear, but it's still pretty cool to have this. And if you look on the side here, my favorite quote is right here. Burns all night without refilling on a few cents worth of fuel. That's the good old days right there. It's only fitting we do this video on top of this old rolling cart deal because it's an old lantern. This is actually a 1972 model. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out of the box here. And there she is. So this is a 1972 Coleman 220F dual mantle lantern. This thing is pretty freaking cool. As you can see, it is pretty dirty, but we're gonna be getting that cleaned up in just a second here. Other than the dust, it is in pretty much immaculate condition. This thing has, as I said, has not been fired in about 30 years, and I'm not even 21 yet. So this is going to be the first time I've ever seen this lantern in particular working. So we're going to go ahead and get on to cleaning this thing. We got this thing pretty cleaned up, as you can see, you know, the best we could with just a freaking microfiber cloth and an air gun from the air compressor. We ran into an issue where this thing would not build pressure no matter how much you pumped it. So we oiled this part here, we sprayed some oil into here, and then none of that worked, so what we eventually ended up doing was just taking the whole thing out. Because this lantern has the older style leather pump cup, we were able to just take the whole pump assembly out and massage some new oil into the leather, and now it works just like new. Now it's time to go ahead and try to start this thing. Now, if you come here and take a look at the opening we have to fill the gas, it's not very big. So we're gonna be using this oil funnel. Now we did spray this out with brake clean. As you can see, it's pretty clean inside, and it fits just perfectly into the fill hole. Super janky, but it's gonna work just fine. This is the fuel we're gonna be using. It's just Crown white gas. Now I know it's not Coleman gas, but it's pretty much the same thing, and it was cheaper, and it's still, as you can see right here, manufactured in the USA.
There we go.
30 years. So now that we've got that initial startup of this thing out of the way after sitting for, as I said, at least 25 years, and by the way, these are still the same mantles that were in there the last time it was used. We did buy new ones, but we wanted to see if these ones worked, and they do, so we just left them in there. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to get one of these things going. So the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously open this up and pump it between 20 and 30 times here. And once that's done, close this back up like that. Unfortunately, this is not one of the lanterns that has the built-in flint striker, so what you're going to want to do is get one of these grill lighters, stick it up through one of the holes at the bottom, get it lit, right like that, and then just crack the valve open just a little bit. And then once they're lit like that, open this valve the rest of the way. And there you go. We're producing a good amount of light out of this thing. So as you can see, this thing is burning pretty bright. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the soft boxes I have here in the garage just to show you how bright this thing actually is. And there you go. Now, just to kind of give you the best reference of how bright this is, I am recording this with a micro four thirds sensor, 1/60th of a second shutter speed, f2.8 aperture at 800 ISO. And it's putting off this really nice, warm yellow light. I really like these things. And here's the mantles right here, guys. These things are older than I am, and they're not even the old thorium ones, as far as we can tell at least. And they're still burning like brand new. So that's just about it for this video, guys. There are a couple of other things I want to go over though. So this box right here, this is the original box from this lantern. And something I didn't notice originally is the price tag. If you check this out right here, this was $11.47 at Target back in 1972. If you were to buy a brand new Coleman lantern, you're gonna be spending at least $110 on it, and they're not built like this. The glass, Pyrex glass, is made in China. As you saw here, this one's made in the USA. So it's the good quality, the good old school stuff, back when stuff was actually made in the country instead of outsourcing everything to China like it is now. The boxes, I don't think look as cool as this either. This is the original box. As I said, it's a little beat up, but it's also, like what, 50 years old almost? 49 years old at this point. The date code on the bottom of this is April of 1972, which is pretty cool. My grandpa bought this and handed it down to my dad, and I guess my dad never fired it, so we got it up and running today, which is pretty freaking cool. So there you go, guys. That is going to be it for this different video. I've never really done anything like this before on YouTube, but it was a pretty cool experience. And if you liked this, come back next Friday because we're going to get this old 1970 Coleman grill up and running. I'm really excited for this one. That is going to be it for this video. Big shout out to Josiah for actually helping me film this video and get this thing back up and running. I'll put his links in the description below. And as usual, come back on Wednesday for another Spyro video. But until then, guys, that is going to be it. Thank you for watching.